Hi, my name is Spencer. Today I'll be discussing stomach and duodenum exams with you. What I'm going to do today is discuss a few theories, alternative theories of service connection for stomach conditions. Then I'm going to discuss the relevant regulations with you, and then lastly I'll review a stomach DBQ with you. DBQ is just short for Disability Benefits Questionnaire. This is the form the VA examiners complete at your C&P examinations. Now I'm going to discuss service connection of stomach conditions. For service connection, I'm going to start with an example stomach condition. That'll be gastric ulcers in this case. So what causes gastric ulcers? They're usually caused by H. pylori bacteria or the use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatories such as like ibuprofen. So given that, I'm going to address a couple different alternative theories of service connection for gastric ulcers. For example, there's direct service connection. Here, a veteran could be claiming that his stomach ulcer was caused by, maybe he drank contaminated water or contaminated food while he's deployed overseas, and that led to a gastric ulcer. That would be direct service connection, that his gastric ulcer is a direct result of his service. For secondary service connection, that could be, for example, maybe the veteran has a service-connected knee condition or back condition, and he takes ibuprofen or, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories daily, and then the excessive use of those non-steroidal anti-inflammatories led to him developing a gastric ulcer. So that would be secondary service connection for a stomach condition. Now, the last one I'm going to discuss with you is aggravation-based theory. Similar to the secondary service connection, just a little bit different. Maybe the veteran in this case is claiming his ibuprofen use, instead of cause the gastric ulcer, it actually just makes the symptoms worse. So a little bit similar, a little bit nuanced, more nuanced there. But again, aggravation would be another theory of service connection you could pursue for various stomach conditions such as gastric ulcers. The next thing I'm going to review with you is the regulations. So 38 CFR section 4.114 is for the schedule ratings for digestive system. Now, what you're going to want to do is scroll down to 7304. 7304 is going to be for gastric ulcers. Now, there's actually no rating criteria right beside the gastric ulcers here in 7304. So what you're going to do is proceed one down to 7305, and that's ulcer duodenal. There's the rating criteria for a gastric ulcer. It'll basically go through the frequency, the severity of symptoms, and if there's incapacitating episodes, and how often those episodes occur. So that's how you're going to get rated for your gastric ulcers. What I'm going to do with you now then is go over to the DBQ. The DBQ, again, it's the form the VA examiner will be completing, and basically page 1, nothing to really comment about. The examiner is going to check off your records were reviewed. He's going to discuss any relevant medical records, but basically he usually just puts a few short words there. So we'll move on to page 2 here. Page 2 is where the VA examiner is going to list any diagnosed stomach conditions or duodenum conditions. In this case, you'll see gastric ulcers is right there. He'll check off that box in our example and then write the date of diagnoses. That's about everything on page 2. Now we're going to go down to page 3 and 4. Now this is the most important section for gastric ulcers here, because what the examiner does here is check off the frequency, the severity of the veteran's symptoms, and also how recurrent they are here. Is there incapacitating episodes? Is there weight loss, anemia, these kind of things? The boxes he checks here on page 3 will basically directly determine a veteran's rating. So for example, if the VA examiner marks, mild symptoms, occasional recurring episodes, these kind of things, that would translate to a 10% rating for gastric ulcers. You can see in the rating schedule, if you go back to that, it'll say mild with recurring symptoms once or twice yearly. That would translate to a 10% rating. So that's basically everything I have for you on the stomach and duodenum C&P exams. Below the video, you'll find a link to the DBQ, a link to the rating schedule, and feel free to comment if you have any questions. Alright, so that's the end of my video today. If you look below the video, you'll find web links to the regulations, and you'll also find a link to the relevant DBQ. Also below the video, you can post any comments if you have any questions. That's everything I have for you today. Thanks. Bye.